My friends, welcome back. My name is Howard Riell. The show is called Riell Truth, and while America was busy feasting on turkey, the turkeys on TV were busy lying their butts off. From Breitbart, MSNBC's Morning Joe viewers are slamming the show's hosts, Mika Brzezinski and Joe Scarborough, for passing off their post-Thanksgiving show as a live broadcast. Viewers of the show are expressing their displeasure after a show executive confirmed that the show had been taped on Wednesday, the Daily Mail reported. A longtime viewer of the program first noticed the show was not live when a story broke Friday afternoon about an ISIS attack on an Egyptian mosque that killed 305 people. The news ticker referenced the attack, but the hosts didn't mention it. Instead, Brzezinski and Scarborough spoke about Thanksgiving and President Trump's shortcomings in the White House. In other words, screw you, says MSNBC. Screw you, says Mika Brzezinski. Screw you, says Joe Scarborough. Screw you, says the major media, which doesn't think you're entitled to the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. They're willing to technique you and me. They're willing to make fools of us, willing to lie to us, and so. As 2017 draws close to an end, it's about time we started thinking in terms of New Year's resolutions. I got one for you that's just plain common sense. I will not give my time and my money to anyone, individual or organization, who lies to me openly, intentionally, repeatedly, for years and years and years because they think they're above me somehow. I will not watch fake news outlets like CNN, MSNBC, CNBC, ABC, CBS, NBC, MOUSE. You won't watch any of them because you're sick and tired of being lied to. You're being lied to because these networks do not have the best interests of Americans at heart. They've got the best interests of their bottom line at heart. The best interest of their network. In the case of Mika and Joe, they've got the best interests of Mika and Joe in mind. And if you have to suffer or be insulted, and America has to suffer, be presented with fake news, they're willing to do that. Well, guess what? I'm not willing to do that. I will never put fake news out there, and I'm guessing that you're listening to my show because you insist on truth. The show is, after all, called Riell Truth, right? Right. All right, we'll take a break. We'll come back. Riell Truth will return.
The people of the United States, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, promote the general welfare, and secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our posterity, to ordain and establish this Constitution for the United States of America. Piccolo's restaurant in Denver reminds that over 750,000 children were reported missing last year. Over 58,000 of these were abducted by non-family members. Keep an eye out for youngsters at play, and if you see anything suspicious, contact the authorities immediately. This message from Piccolo's restaurant in Denver. It's not only the best Italian.
Welcome to Unfound.
It's the people who care. Give them a call at 303-757-5166. 303-757-5166. Chaplain Collins LLC is our emergency first responders with their professionalism, commitment, and bravery. They're willing to put their lives on the line for us as little or no thanks. So let's all take the time to thank our first responders for all they do for us. Also thanking our for our food. This message is from Chaplain Collins LLC, the two locations in Denver and Fort Collins, serving the community for over 13 years. Visit them online at chapelcollins.com.
Welcome back to Riell Truth. I am and will remain for the foreseeable future Howard Riell. Let's start off with something I know you're going to enjoy. This comes from pjmedia.com, and I quote, "Gather round, children. The Canadian Elementary Teachers Federation of Ontario has some super interesting new information for you. First, we're going to learn a new acronym. Can you say LGGBDTTTIQQAAPP? Let's try it to the tune of Old MacDonald. Everyone sing along, because next we'll learn what these letters mean. Are you ready? L, lesbian. Everyone knows what that is, right? G, gay. G, gender queer. Now this one is new, so let's make sure we all understand what this means. Gender queer, denoting or relating to a person who does not subscribe to conventional gender distinctions, but identifies with neither, both, or a combination of male and female genders. That's easy, isn't it, kids? Basically, this is a person who has no idea who or what they are. Okay? B, bisexual. D, demisexual. Oh boy, another new one. Let's get out the ever-expanding queer dictionary to figure it out. Quote, a demisexual is a person who does not experience sexual attraction unless they form a strong emotional connection with someone. This used to be known as monogamous love. Now we throw out the word sexual and we make it attractive to the kids. Do you get it? T, transgender. You all know about this one. These are boys and girls who dress up like the opposite sex and want everyone to pretend not to notice. T, transsexual. You're familiar with these people too. Same as above, only they've gone through irreversible surgery to remove healthy body parts because feelings. Let them in your bathroom. Everything is fine. T, two-spirit. Oh my goodness, how exciting. It's another category no one on earth has ever heard of. This one is complicated, dear ones. For sure, you have to be a Native American. And smoking a lot of peyote could only help understand what the heck a two-spirit is. It appears to be a third gender not yet discovered by science and only found in the Native American community by gender studies majors who take adventure vacations and hang out in sweat lodges. I, intersex. This is that very rare condition that we used to call hermaphrodite, where a child is born with both sex organs of male and female. It is very rare, as in it hardly ever happens. It is a birth defect. We're just motoring through all these new terms, and if you need a snack to recharge, choose something high protein. Okay, the letter Q, queer. Just when you thought you couldn't use the word queer because it's an insult, think again. It's back. Queer is an umbrella term designed to describe all people who aren't normal. I think. It's hard to tell. These things do change on an almost daily basis. Q, questioning, is a term used for people who are still deciding where they're going to fall on this list. It seems contradictory to the born that way theory to have a bunch of people still questioning their sexuality. But the LGBTQWTF brigade says it's fine, so rest assured there's nothing to question about questioning. A, asexual. Asexual people have no interest in sex. This also used to be known as people who are married with kids. A, allies are people who virtue signal constantly on Twitter about supporting their LGBTQWTF friends and family. These people aren't gay, queer, or even questioning. They're simply shielding themselves from the Gestapo squads who come around looking for people who aren't properly broadcasting their approval of the queer agenda. Be an ally, children, if you know what's good for you. P, pansexual is just a more confusing way to say bisexual. There really is no difference, only we pretend there is so we can use a word that reminds us of Greek mythology and sounds more interesting than bisexual, which is so last decade. P, polyamorous people are basically leftover hippies who miss communes, or hardcore Mormons. Either way, these are people who like to have more than one partner, sometimes at the same time. Now that we've finished our lesson for today, children, it's time for questions. My friends, do you have any questions? Well, I've got about 7, 8 1,000 questions. But that's just me. You see the depravity that we have fallen to in America? See the insanity, the craziness, and the outright stupidity that we now embrace on the PC side? Which is why we've got to stop the PC side from gaining control. Get it? Item from InfoWars. Nurse Tyesha Baker of Riell Children's Health in Indiana is under investigation for tweeting that every white male baby is, quote, a detriment to society that, quote, should be sacrificed to the wolves. Quote from Tyesha. Every white woman raises a detriment to society when they raise a son. Someone with the highest propensity to be a terrorist, rapist, racist, killer, and domestic violence all-star. Historically, every son you had should be sacrificed to the wolves, she wrote on Twitter. Here's something else that Tyesha wrote on Twitter. Here are a few more of her Twitter posts. Let's see. What can I get here? I got to get in close for this one. Currently listening to a YT nurse talk about the need of guns and how this could be stopped with more guns. She writes also, so yes, white people, it's your job to end racism because you all are the racist ones. Here's another one. Send this ugly white back where you found him. Here's another one. I said it and I'll say it again. If you want real insight into racism in this election, you have to look at white women voters. Here's another one from Tyesha. White people are the worst thing created. The stats don't lie. My friends, Tyesha goes on with additional hate-filled racist rants. She's under investigation. I don't know why. She should have been fired instantly. I don't see what needs to be investigated. The woman clearly, well, let's be nice. The woman has major issues. And I think the administration of that hospital must have major issues if they didn't immediately sever her from the staff. My friends, the ugly truth is that there is racism in America, and it's among whites, and it's among blacks, and it's about Latinos and Asians. Racism, unfortunately, is a human thing that we're all prey to. So let's not pretend it's only on one or two sides of the equation. We'll take a break, and we'll come back with more Real Truth.
Great Plains Power has been providing reliable electrical power systems in the Rocky Mountain area since 1992. Our systems rely on the sun to help make you self-reliant for your power needs. Both energy can be scaled to fit any situation, from complete power independence to backup power for the short term. Our expertise focuses on standalone power, but we have extensive experience with utility interactive systems as well. Custom-tailored capabilities and modest emergency lighting all the way to commercial scale power. Great Plains Power is a full-service company. We service everything we sell. We provide and design turnkey packages, custom design system, and parts for do-it-yourself. With more than 20 years of specialized experience at your disposal, let us know what your power concerns or goals are. Reach us by phone or the internet. Call 303-239-9963. That's 303-239-9963. Or go to GreatPlainsSolar.com. Your local DuPont Pioneer team doesn't take with you for the word go lightly, especially when it comes to forages. Just ask your fellow producers, folks like us.
We have an awesome support team from Pioneer. I think that they're probably one of the reasons why we are successful.
And Bruce Cullum.
They'll come out anytime you want to call them and help us. You don't get that from all your other seed dealers. But these guys are here all season long.
As well as Ken Phelps. Just know that, the research that Pioneer's done, it really, it shows, and that the cows really do well with it, so we continue to use it. Or Billy Rucker.
All in all, seem like Pioneer is always in the top. I believe green. Everybody believes green.
Want a team that's with you from the word go? That's DuPont Pioneer. Ask them about leveraging the Silent Zone resource to produce the highest quality forages for your operation. Pioneer, with you from the word go.
All right, guys, let's get down to cases. Pat Buchanan on the Laura Ingraham Show, talking about important stuff. Let's listen.
Pat Buchanan wrote a piece last week titled Unserious.
Anything that points this country back in the rightward direction is good, and Donald Trump is doing that. Let's see what we have got. Item from Breitbart. A New York City high school teacher allegedly became a 17-year-old student's sugar daddy, giving her cash and a taxpayer-funded job in exchange for, you guessed it, sex. Martin Halfield, 56, a Spanish teacher who also happens to be a licensed attorney, is accused of having an inappropriate relationship with a student at North Queens Community High School last year, the New York Post reported. Investigators say Halfield arranged an internship funded by the New York City Department of Education's work-study program for the 17-year-old girl in his law office, but her only tasks were to perform sexual favors. The paid intern reportedly cost $2,000. Unquote. So, my friends, do we point the finger at educators or at lawyers? Yes, both. Item from the Miami Herald. A man convicted of running a child prostitution ring was sentenced to 472 years in prison, the longest sentence for a human trafficking case in U.S. history, according to news reports. Brock Franklin of Colorado was found guilty of the sentencing hearing Tuesday in Arapahoe County. He was sentenced to almost 5 centuries behind bars, 4 times the minimum required sentence, according to KUSA. 4 others have already been sentenced for their involvement in the crimes. Franklin's defense team asked for the minimum sentence of 96 years, the news outlet said. Unquote. Boy, my friends, I'll tell you, 472 years, that's a really harsh sentence, because after all, he might only have gotten 372 years. Let's not be stupid, shall we? It means for the rest of this guy's life, Colorado is going to be feeding, clothing, and caring for his health. Why not just bang and done? We'll be back.
Howdy, folks. Have you ever thought about having your own backyard chicken? Now you have a source for certified organic, no GMO, no soy chicken meat. HappyHens.biz can even deliver, or you can pick up. Call me, Tim, at 303-829-5948, or go to HappyHens.biz for pricing and ingredients. At HappyHens.biz, we love HappyHens.biz, or call us at 303-829-5948.
Get to Nissan's Truck Month today and stay big on Nissan's family of trucks. Like the award-winning Frontier, J.D. Power's highest-ranked mid-size pickup in initial quality 2 years in a row, or the Armada, Titan XD, and Truck Trend's 2017 pickup truck of the year, the 2017 Titan. Plus, every Titan is backed by America's best limited truck warranty, 5 years, 100,000 miles, bumper to bumper. Hurry into your local Nissan dealer today. Truck Month and these great offers end soon. Take on today. Save up to $12,710 on Titan XD or your Frontier starting at just $18,390. Nissan, innovation that excites. For well-qualified buyers, 2017 Titan XD, $8,500 cash back, $1,765 reserve benefit package, $1,000 net back, $1,450 average dealer discount and select trim. 2017 Frontier includes tax title license destination charge. Dealer set actual price. Finance through a back. Pay for new dealer stock. See dealer or call 1-888-858-8319 for details on offers, awards, and more information. Ends 10/31/17.
This
Article 4. The right of the people to be secure in their persons, houses, papers, and effects against unreasonable searches and seizures shall not be violated, and no warrant shall be issued but upon probable cause, supported by oath or affirmation, and particularly describing the places to be searched and the persons or things to be seized. American Window Tinting Incorporated in Franktown reminds parents, keep an eye on your child while shopping. Children tend to stray or become lost. This poses an opportunity for a would-be abductor. Please make every effort to keep track of your little ones at all times. If you have information regarding a lost child, call local authorities at once. This message is from American Window Tinting Incorporated in Franktown. For residential or commercial window tinting, call 303-263-4228. He was in the world was made through him. The world did not know him. He came to his own, and his own did not receive him. But as many as received him, to them he gave the right to become children of God, to those who believe in his name, who were born not of blood,
nor of the will of the flesh, nor of the will of man, but of God. The Gospel of John, chapter 1, verse 10 through 13.
My friends, Mark Levin holds a great distinction in this country. He is the conservative talk radio host who most closely resembles Howard Riell on Riell Truth. And for that, he has earned immortality. Here he is talking about, well, forgive me for saying it, but Oprah Winfrey. Here we go.
Now, last week, and I've been thinking about this a little bit over the weekend. Don't get me wrong, I wasn't sitting on the sofa and, oh, Oprah. And I was thinking about a little bit in the car about her and what she said. And I addressed it. But I don't think I addressed it the way it needs to be addressed. Let me tell you something, folks. Oprah Winfrey has no idea. Oh, I know she's black, but she has no idea. No idea. Most of us have no idea what it's like to live in a country that really is brutally racist or brutally anti-Semitic or brutally any of these things. We really don't. And I'm not talking about older people in this country who lived through segregation and those horrific events. Obviously, they do. But most of our contemporaries do not. This is a nation that's changing demographically. We're told this all the time, and it's true. More minorities in this country with every passing day, through birth and immigration. Where do people want to come from the third world? Where do people want to come from all these countries that are not considered white or Caucasian countries? They want to come here, to the United States. If we are, as Oprah Winfrey says, if we are, as Jesse Jackson says, if we are, as Al Sharpton says, if we are, as CARE says, and on and on and on, why are people dying to get across our border, cross deserts, cross rivers, threatened by drug smugglers, rapists? Why do they come here by the millions? If we are, as Oprah Winfrey said, Arabs, Muslim and Christian Arabs, black and brown Arabs, Latinos, Africans, Asians, Indians, Pakistanis, and yes, Caucasians too, Russians, so forth. Why do they come here? Do they come here to be abused? Do they come here to be mistreated? No. They come here because we're not what Oprah Winfrey says. I am tired of this country. Forget about the damn government. I am tired of this country, meaning we the people, being talked down to, being mischaracterized, being smeared. I am sick and tired of it. No country's pouring more resources into the Philippines today because of that tsunami than us. No country poured more resources into Japan when they were hit by that devastating tsunami than us. We have spilled Yankee blood in every hellhole all over this world, most of it the third world, including Afghanistan, including Iraq. We've spilled blood in Vietnam, in Korea, and yes, all over Europe. We are a good people. We are a tolerant people. We are a freedom-loving people. We are humane. And I am sick and tired of people trashing us. They want to keep reliving history. Only parts of it, of course. The fact of the matter is, if we're not the least racist nation on the face of the earth, we're certainly one of them. And we'd have even a greater melting pot. Greater than already exists. But for the fact that the left and the government and the media seek to balkanize us at every turn, based on race, based on ethnicity. And these ethnic front groups are parasites of the left, parasites of big government, constantly trying to pull us one from the other, trying to create jealousy and hatred and victimization. Look at this group CARE. If we are, as this radical Islamo group CARE says, why are people pouring into this country from the Middle East and other parts of the world, which are dominated by the Muslim religion? Why? Why would you want to come here? And we elected a president twice. A president who, by the way, because of his policies, I abhor. But he was elected twice. A man of mixed race. This is not a racist nation. Yes, there are racists. That's different. This is not a racist nation. Oprah Winfrey has made enormous sums of money. Enormous sums of money on television, with books, with productions, with magazines, with radio, you name it. She's a walking, talking conglomerate. A walking, talking conglomerate. And she did it in this quote-unquote racist America, where 3/4 of the population is said to be white. And I don't even buy that. What does that mean? What does that mean? I am so tired of this.
My friends, I am too, and I'm saying this as we're about to go to a commercial break. I'm sick and tired of people saying that America is evil. America is racist. America is the bad guy. Not true. Wasn't true. Won't be true going forward because it's not our national character. Now, if there are people out there, and I'm talking about the left, who want to change our national character and play this divisive political game, turning one group against another, well, then you're talking about changing what America has always been. But just as Mark Levin said, America has always been the good guy in the world, and I hope we continue to be. We certainly want to continue to be. We'll take a break and we'll come back with more Real Truth.
We know our government is out of control. It's no longer our servant. It's become our master. Listen to me. Liberty Forum with the Freedom Rider will answer the question, what can we do? Our freedom and liberty is at stake. It's time to act. Those who have given everything for this country would expect no less. Tune in to the new Liberty Forum radio show Fridays at 9 a.m.
No state shall enter into any treaty, alliance, or confederation, grant letters of marque or reprisal, coin money, emit bills of credit, Make anything but gold and silver coin a tender in payment of debt. Pass any bill of attainder, ex post facto law, or law impairing the obligation of contracts, or grant any title of nobility. Article 1, Section 10. The Patriot Trading Group is a different kind of gold and silver company, cleaning up the industry for 21 years. Are you tired of the high-pressure sales tactics, the constant phone calls? Are you done with the bait and switch? You just want to be treated fairly with honesty and respect? That's exactly what you get when you call 800-951-0592. You have my word on it. I'm Joe Jaquin, CEO of the Patriot Trading Group. Check us out online at allamericangold.com. The American Freedom Network is not funded or supported by special interest groups or government programs. The American Freedom Network is not sponsored by advertisers demanding content or programming control. The American Freedom Network is solely funded by you, the listener. Please help keep the American Freedom Network on the air by purchasing one of our sponsors' fine products or by calling 1-800-205-6245 to make a donation. The American Freedom Network needs your help.
My friends, you can't say I don't do right by you. The first segment of the show today, we had yours truly, Howard Riell. Second segment, Laura Ingraham. Third segment, Mark Levin. And here in the fourth segment, we're going to give you Rush Limbaugh, talking about net neutrality. You hear that phrase a lot. Exactly what does it mean? Here's old Rushbaugh.
The left is pushing net neutrality because they want the government to regulate the private sector is
My friends, and that's why we're about to hit a break. That's why I cut Rush off. That's why monopolies are so dangerous. Because not only do they exert enormous control, but they keep others out who also want some control. Item. From the Daily Mail, Black Friday mayhem. One shot outside Missouri Mall as brawls close Alabama shopping center after stores opened their doors early. One person was shot outside the Missouri Mall on Thursday night as Black Friday shoppers rushed to stores in Hoover, Alabama. Two women sparked a mass brawl which forced the closure of the River Chase Galleria. Unquote. My friends, we survived Black Friday, but I'm here to tell you, every time we have one, it makes me question the viability of our species. It really does. We'll take a break and we'll wrap up here on Riell Truth.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Tom Phillips, founder of the Green Earth.
Well, it had to happen. If Colorado legalized marijuana, most people thought the Green Earth was a marijuana dispensary. Although legalized on January 1st, 2014, the same day we opened our new location at 4565 Gifford Street, 1.5 blocks south of I-7. There are 83,000 cars a day passing in front of our new location on Gifford Street, and most of them thought we were a marijuana dispensary. So we changed the name of our retail store to New Genesis Health, but we kept the name of our Green Earth Southern. So when you come to our new location, look for our new name, New Genesis Health, or call us at 888-765-HERB. That's 888-765-4372. And be sure to listen to the Healthy Nectar Show with Linda Phillips every Tuesday at 1 p.m.
TLR Associates Boulder wants you to remember your life began at conception. So does the life of every guest to be born first. Baby and mother both lose with 1 in 3 women choose abortion. Former abortion doctor Nathan said people do not understand that there are thousands of serious physical complications from abortion every year in this country. Abortion crises, severe depression, stress, anxiety, difficulties, sleep disturbances, suicide, violent behavior, sterility, increased risk of delivery complications. International Journal of Epidemiology reported abortion increased breast cancer risk by 9%. Every helpless baby has the right to life, too. This life-giving message is brought to you by TLR Associates of Boulder, providing a job well done for your home or business. 9 Stucco, Stone, and Brick. Call TLR Associates of Boulder, 303-921-3310. TLR Medallion brand stucco protection serves the Boulder and northern Colorado area.
Guys, welcome back to Riell Truth. Let's finish it up for the day. Item from pjmedia.com. An ISIS supporter released on the group's social media haunts a poster of Santa Claus overlooking Times Square with a case of dynamite at his side. In the image, New York streets are filled with pedestrians at nighttime, and Santa carries a bulky red sack. "We meet at Christmas in New York soon," reads the text on the image. It follows propaganda posters making holiday threats toward Europe, with a hand holding a bloody knife before a market in the neighborhood of the Eiffel Tower, and a black-clad terrorist jihadist standing over Santa on London's Regent Street. The threat also comes as the ISIS-supporting Wafa Media Foundation has released numerous threats against the holiday and against the Vatican. In a message to fellow jihadists last week, the group noted that, quote, "the Crusaders' feast is approaching." In another instance, Wafa circulated a poster depicting a vehicle moving toward the Vatican with a cache of weapons, vowing, quote, "Christmas blood," unquote. My friends, I don't want you to be nervous. You have nothing whatsoever to fear. Well, I mean, as long as there are no Muslims in your city. If there are Muslims in your city, then yeah, you better be scared. Item from the Rutherford Institute, John Whitehead, former guest here on Riell Truth. Quit resisting. Cops yell at a compliant young man who was thrown to the ground, beaten, arrested, and hospitalized for severe injuries to his face and arm, allegedly in retaliation for, quote, "resisting arrest by driving to a safe, well-lit area before submitting to a traffic stop for a broken taillight." We've all been there before. You're driving along, you see a pair of flashing blue lights in your rearview mirror. Whether or not you've done anything wrong, you get a sinking feeling in your stomach. You've read enough news stories, seen enough headlines, and lived in the American police state long enough to be anxious about any encounter with a cop that takes place on the side of the road. For better or worse, from the moment you're pulled over, you are at the mercy of law enforcement officers who have almost absolute discretion to decide who's a threat, what constitutes resistance, and how harshly they can deal with the citizen they're appointed to serve and protect. This is what I call blank check policing, in which the police get to call all of the shots. So if you're nervous about traffic stops, you have every reason to be. Trying to predict the outcome of any encounter with the police is a bit like playing Russian roulette. Most of the time, you'll emerge relatively unscathed, although decidedly poorer and less secure about your rights. But there's always a chance that an encounter will turn deadly. For instance, it was just a year ago in the early morning hours of December 1, 2016, when Gregory Tucker, a young African-American man, was pulled over by Louisiana police for a broken taillight. Because he didn't feel safe stopping immediately, Tucker drove calmly and slowly to a safe, well-lit area a few minutes away before stopping in front of his cousin's house. That's when what should have been a routine traffic stop became yet another example of police brutality in America, and another reason why Americans are justified in their fear of cops. According to the lawsuit just filed in federal court by the Rutherford Institute, police ordered Tucker out of his vehicle, and after he stepped out, immediately placed him under arrest for, quote, "resisting." In this case, that meant not immediately stopping, and searched his person and his vehicle. Tucker was then ordered to move to the front of the police vehicle and place his hands on the hood. 2 more police arrived on the scene, walked up behind Tucker, grabbed his arms to restrain him, and handcuffed him. My friends, I'm going to stop there because we're out of time. Go to Rutherford.org and read the rest of this piece. It's out just today from John Whitehead. As you know, we here on Riell Truth are pro-police, but our eyes are open. We realize there are bad cops out there doing bad things, and it's up to us and the police departments across the country to stop them, to stop the bad cops, and not to slander the good cops. I'll be back tomorrow with more Riell Truth. My friends, you know how that goes. Until then, stay safe, stay healthy, stay angry.